Okay, so now we've put everything, all the elements together. Or now it's time to put all the elements together. And if you have the fast logo opener, the COM368 nested fast logo opener, this is a project that we used for COM408. And we put our video open together and adjusted it accordingly to fit that particular semester. And if you look really deep down into the sequence, you're going to see a whole bunch of nested sequences within it. So open up this project if you haven't already, and you go to the final disclosure triangle. And you open up render and open up this final sequence. And you might not be able to see what's going on in this project because there's a lot of elements missing. Okay. But let's look within this project. So what this is this a series of nested sequences. Okay, so this is, I think this is a graphics element. So this is a nested sequence. So this is somewhere in these folders in here called light leaks. And if you look within this particular light leaks, so this is an element that they've just repeated over and over again. And they've added different colors, it looks like. That looks like it's the same. So they've just kind of repeated these and colored these and such. Okay, so it's one sequence that's part of a bigger sequence, as you can see in there. So imagine what would happen if this sequence isn't nested and this sequence isn't nested. So as you can see, this is your film sequence, and this is, I can't really see what that is. Okay, you can see it's like a film grain. And I don't even know if they have in the effect controls, they have invert. So they have a couple of things in there. A lot of these came pre-rendered. So they just kind of repeated this, and you can see there's just like these really wild little elements in there. And then grain. Okay, so it's still looking for media. So this is like a little grain in there. So you kind of look through these specific nested sequences, and this hasn't been rendered. And look, it's got 8 different sequences within this final sequence, and obviously it needs, here's your adjustment layer. So it's an adjustment layer in there, it looks like. And so all these little adjustments they've added in there. And so they've added a sharpen adjustment layer. And so the crosses one, if you look at crosses, there's a bunch of elements. So this is where they just took a cross. So this is where one cross is. So cross is there. And then it appears there. And then it repeats. So that's all it is. So it's just one crosses clip. And if you actually just look at this actual clip, and it's just been repeated. So look at this. So this is just you drawing. So you can draw boxes. Okay. And so they made this into a small 2-second video clip. They drew a whole bunch of things. You could do squares and have them pop in and out. And then what they did is they exported that and imported those and just made them a whole bunch of little wild clips and repeated them over and over again. So again, if you go back into the final sequence, you also see this main scene. And so this is a nested sequence within a nested sequence. So as you can see, this is where the big jalopy comes into play. So So let me go back. So if you hit final sequence, so you see all these nested sequences here, you go into main scene, you double click that, and now you see a whole bunch of other nested scenes. So scene 1 is a nested sequence. So if you double click that, and so this is a specific sequence. And look at this. This has 9 video elements into it. 9 video elements. So that's a lot. Okay? So imagine if we didn't nest this sequence, you'd have 9 video elements here. And then this one, and it has 9 video elements. So all these different things have 9 video elements within this final sequence, which already has 8 video elements, all layered on top of one another. And that's what creates this really, really cool open effect. And of course, I'm going to play, I'm not going to be able to play it because as you can see, it's red, it's not rendered. I don't even think you'll be able to see the final sequence. Yeah, you can't see it. But if I play the main scene, you'll essentially be able to see what it looks like. But there's a lot of elements missing. So all these things you've replaced. But this is essentially what it looks like in slow motion. So you can play it along. So you're going to create an open similar to this. And use this as a model. So it's not going to be as intricate as this, but use this. So see what they do and see if you can use some of their ideas and create these little boxes and create these little lines and animate those. So these are all, some of these are movies and some of these are rendered, I'm sorry, they're nested sequences, and create it from there. So what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to add some of these elements so you can see what this sequence is going to look like.